All right, you're good.
Okay. We'll call the Green Bay Sex Offender Residency Board to meeting. We'll first take roll call.
Looks like everybody's logged in. I don't think that I have to send anything.
Oh,
through,
okay.
so we'll move on.
All right, then we need an approval of the agenda from the May 8th, 2019 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll send
Oh,
all those
yeah,
in.
that's right.
Yeah.
Still waiting for Kathy and Ivy.
Right, nothing popped up.
Nothing popped up. Do we not manually enter yours?
Sure.
Do you approve?
That's a yes.
Okay. All right, passes unanimously.
Okay. Then we need an approval of the minutes from the April 10th, 2019 sex offender meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll say aye.
Did that vote pop up for you, Ivy?
Mm-mm.
That's not the one I had last time.
Big voting, yes.
Yes.
All right. Vote passes, 3 approve and 1 abstention.
All right, we will get to regular business. The first person that we're going to hear today is a Michael Perego, which we need to make a phone call. Hi, this is Heidi Michael with the Green Bay Sex Offender Residency Board. We're here to have a conversation with Michael Perego.
Yes, I have him on speakerphone in my office.
Okay. Michael?
Yes.
Hi, you're with the Green Bay Sex Offender Board right now. We are going to hear your appeal. A couple things, when you talk about your crime, we ask that you not refer to the victim by name or relationship.
Okay.
And when we discuss your treatment, you have the opportunity to go in closed session or remain in public session.
Okay.
Do you know if you'd like to do that? Make that decision now?
Yep, we're fine just where we are.
Okay. All right, so you're looking to move to 1206 Marshall Avenue, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Do you want to tell us about what you were convicted of?
Commercial sexual exploitation of a child.
Can you explain that?
I posted a picture on the internet, and when I found out 3 months after I met her that she was a 15-year-old runaway. She had told me she was 18, she was on an adult website. She was trying to get from the location she was at in Newton, Kansas to Kansas City, Kansas. I told her I would help her out, but she said her mother had kicked her out. And I said after a couple hours of chatting with her, I would come and get her. She said she would stay at my house until Saturday. I picked her up on Wednesday night. Nothing sexual happened until the night before she left. And that was, she had given me oral sex. Again, I had no clue she was a 15-year-old girl. I would never do something with a child. That's not the way I was raised. And 3 months later, like I said, I got a knock on my door, and it was the Andover Police Department, and they had a search warrant. They took every electronic device I had and searched them for any child pornography or movies or videos or anything like that, pictures. There was nothing on any of it. That's the gist of it. I served 8 months or 7 months, I believe it was, in county jail, 2 months in our RDU unit, and then 6.5 months in Lansing Correctional Facility.
And how old were you?
It was a year and a half ago, so I've been 47, sorry, I think.
And so did you know this girl?
No, I did not.
So how did you obtain a picture of her?
I was on an adult website, and she was on there, and she messaged me asking for help to get to Kansas City.
Okay.
And she had profile pictures on there. And when she got to my house, we took a picture together. Just us sitting there on the couch. And that's how I had a picture of her.
Okay.
So then how were the police notified?
I honestly do not know that. The only thing I can tell you about it is she was involved with a sex trafficking type situation out of Wichita. And I found this out when I was sentenced. And 3 gentlemen are actually in prison for life because of that. I'm assuming she got picked up as a runaway and had my picture on her phone, and that's how I got involved in it.
Can you give me a little bit more information about this type of, the website that you were on when you made contact with this individual?
It was called meetme.com. It's just a general social site, like, almost like Facebook, I guess.
No, it's not like Facebook. It's not. Facebook?
Well, no, it's not Facebook. It's just a general,
No.
you can send people private messages.
Okay, what is the purpose of this website?
To have a conversation. It's not a dating site or nothing like that.
What's the reference to Meet Me?
I'm assuming make new friends. I mean, I was just on there. I've been on there. I was on there for a couple of years, and I talked to people all over the world.
Okay. And so you'd never met this young woman before, correct?
I did not.
And you drove how far to pick her up?
About a half hour or so.
How many miles?
Maybe 35-ish, 40.
Okay, and never knowing her before, you decided to go 35 miles and pick her up and allow her to stay in your home?
I did, yes.
Did anyone come with her?
No, she was by herself.
And did she remain in your home for those entire 3 days?
I was working, but my office at the time was connected to my apartment. So she was alone by herself for a few days, not like for hours and hours on end, but I mean, I could walk in back and forth between my office and my apartment.
Okay, I'm not asking about where were you, I'm asking where was she the entire 3 days?
In my living room or sleeping in the bedroom. I mean, she could do what she wanted. I just had a little 1-bedroom apartment.
And during that period of time, did she have any visitors?
She did not.
Did she have any contact with anyone else?
She talked to people through her phone.
Okay. And even though you said she told you she was 18 years old, correct?
Yes, I did.
And you were 40
Exactly. Go ahead, sorry.
And you were 47 at the time?
Yes.
And she looked like she could possibly be 18 years of age?
She looked like she could have passed for 25, to be honest with you.
Is everyone truthful? To your knowledge, is everyone truthful on those dating sites?
No, not everyone is truthful, and that's what caused me the situation.
Question for you, are you gonna go, I'll let you go on.
No, you
First,
go right on
yeah.
ahead. I have no question.
When was the last time you were in the Green Bay area?
I moved to Kansas, it would have been 21 years ago. I've seen my mom once, I believe it was 9 years ago.
So when was the last time you were in the Green Bay area?
2010, I believe it was.
And was that just a vacation, or did you stay here for an extended period of time?
No, I just came to visit my mother.
Okay.
Saw family, and then I came back to Kansas for my job.
Okay, and so you've been gone for approximately 21 years. Have you maintained contact with anyone in the area besides your mother and brother?
I have not.
Do you have any work, do you have any work
I-
lined up?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any work lined up for when you move here?
I do not at the present time. That would be something I would have to find when I get there, and that's just due to the fact that I didn't know if I would get the interstate compact or not.
And what about treatment, sex offender treatment?
I did complete sex offender treatment in Lansing. I do have a certificate of it. I actually completed that 3 days before I got out, so that's why you probably do not have a copy of it or anything. I do have a copy of it on my phone. If it needs to be back or text you or something like that, or email, that can't be done.
Have you made any
But I did
effort?
complete-
I'm sorry, continue. I'm sorry.
But I did complete sexual offender treatment.
Have you made any efforts to find out what additional treatment you can find while you are here in Green Bay?
I have, under my conditions, I'm sure I will have some sort of aftercare. At the present time, I have not made any arrangements, just due to the fact that I wasn't sure if I would be approved. Now, if I am approved, I guarantee you I will make arrangements and attend the classes that I need to attend. I have no problem doing whatever I have to do to make it back to my family.
I don't have any further questions, thank you.
My brother and mother should be also there somewhere.
We are.
It looks like we do have a letter that was dated March 26th that you were anticipated to finish on or about April 22nd, your treatment? Okay. All right.
Mr. Perego, you have
Yes.
prior convictions for domestic violence offenses, is that correct?
I do have domestic battery and domestic assault 8 and 10 years ago, yes.
Okay. And do you have any children?
I do not.
And do you have any, are you married at this time? I'm asking this question to be.
I am not married, I am single, and I'm not looking to be with anybody at the present time at all.
I'm sorry, I wasn't asking for those reasons. I was asking to determine whether or not you were going to have family move with you to Wisconsin, to Green Bay, if you were going to move back.
I'm sorry, the only family I have is sitting in front of you, I believe. My mother and my brother. They should be there.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
How long are you on probation for if the interstate compact agreement goes through?
I have lifetime post-release. So it would be a lifetime. I would be monitored and have to check in as often as they want me to.
Do you know if you're going to be required to wear a GPS?
I am not. My probation officer is actually sitting and she's shaking her head no, that it would not be required. I am, I guess, considered by the court a low threat from the testing stuff that I've taken. I'm considered a low threat. But if that is something that you require for a period of time, then I would do that.
That's generally DOC who will require that.
Okay.
Does anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. I'm not sure if I understood this or if you said this, but what type of business did you have when you were in Kansas City?
I was managing a storage facility / U-Haul, and I lived on site.
Okay.
So basically, like I had said, my office was just through a door, and I was able to have free reign back and forth to my apartment for lunch and stuff like that, because it was just through a doorway.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. No more? Well, he did kind of talk about his treatment. Are you good with his treatment? Yeah. No further questions from us? No. And any of you want to speak on his behalf? Do they have a...
I do have Michelle Rodriguez here. She would like to speak, if that's okay.
What parole officer?
No, she's not my parole officer. She's my best friend.
She's there in the prison with you?
Yes, she is. Yes. Well, no, I'm not.
Not in
I'm
prison.
in my parole officer's office.
Oh.
Yeah, I was released last Wednesday. So I'm living at a hotel right now. due to the fact that I have no place else to go. And I don't have the money to get an apartment or nothing like that at the present time. My mother arranged for me to have the hotel until, excuse me, this hearing was taken care of, and if approved, I will be going back home.
All right. Can she speak over the phone?
Yeah, we can pick it up on the.
Okay. Your friend Michelle can speak, but she just needs to state her name and address for the record.
Okay.
Michelle Rodriguez, 2625 Southwest Street, Lot 68, Wichita, Kansas, 67217.
Okay. What would you like to say?
That this is what Mike was arrested for is not a typical, the way that Mike is. He's been around my 14-year-old daughter since she's been at 10 years old, and he has never once tried anything. He's always been like the stepfather to her, you know, guiding her and stuff like that, but he's not like that. He's not looking for children. Not like him.
Okay.
How long have you known him?
It'll be 5 years this November.
And what is the context of your relationship? Is it a prior dating relationship, platonic
In the
friends?
beginning, we dated. We decided that we were better off just really good friends, and so we've just been good friends. We go out to dinner when we were able to, movies, stuff like that. We did family things up until the point where he was no longer able to do that when he was taken away. And now that he's back, it's just been me trying to help him out a little bit down here with his mom helping him from out of Wisconsin.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right. Anyone else wants to speak on his behalf? Okay, you can come step up here. And then you just need to state your name and address for the record.
My name is Bev Seifert, 1206 Marshall Avenue, Green Bay. I'm Michael's mother,
Okay.
and I'm nervous.
That's okay. Yeah, it's fine. We're all laid back here.
I feel that Michael would have a very good support system in Green Bay. And he does have his own room. I signed my house over to my son for various reasons, and he knows about Michael and what's going on. I would really like to get him into Green Bay. I have a few health problems, and I'm hoping that he could help me a little bit around the house. That what he did is not the way he was raised. And I'm hoping that we can get him here.
Are your neighbors aware that he would possibly be living
No,
with you?
I'm a very private person. If I see a neighbor outside, I say hi, and that's the extent of it.
Do you have children in your neighborhood?
There's a few. I pretty much stick to myself. I have a fenced-in yard, and I have a deck back there, and that's where we would be spending a lot of our time when he's home and not working.
Any questions?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Seifert?
Yes.
May I ask you a quick question? What rules would you, do you have any rules in mind for your son?
Nothing that isn't the rules that he has to follow. No taverns, no drinking. I am not a drinker myself, so I wouldn't expect him to be in my home. I would expect him to go to work every day. I would expect him to find a job. That's mandatory in my opinion. Other than that, help me around the house a little bit on the things that were more difficult for me to do. I'm sure there's more I can think of as time goes by, but not right this second.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did either of you?
No.
No?
Her home was approved. She did have someone come in and do the inspection.
From DOC?
Yep.
Yes, from here, from Brown County. That was a prior approval. That was done and everything had passed a couple months ago already, correct?
Yeah,
Do you happen to know the name of that agent?
I have her phone number at home, but I don't have it with me.
Okay.
I think it was through the DOJ, right?
As far as I know.
It should have been the Department of Corrections.
Department of Corrections.
Okay.
Did you want me to call?
No.
Okay.
No, that's not necessary, thank you. Okay, does anyone have any questions or comments, or would like to make a vote?
No comments. Can I just ask, why did you move to Kansas?
I moved here with a female that got a job here that I was dating at the time. She's actually back in Wisconsin, and I decided to stay here because I really enjoyed it here.
Okay.
And so that's why I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
I got one quick question. What type of job would you be looking for?
I can do pretty much anything. I would like to get back into management again. That's what I did for the past 5 years when I was at the storage unit. So I've had 15 years of management experience. I've had a couple jobs I've had were all manager jobs, so I'd like to get back into that. But I would take any job I could get to make sure that I'm able to help support myself and not have my mother support me the whole time.
Okay. Would anybody like to make a vote?
I'm, just as a comment, I'm usually less approving of people moving into Wisconsin.
I will do anything I have to.
Well, the thing is, this is a concern of mine too, but, so, if he moves in with his mom, and that's probably just fine, but at some point, he's gonna wanna move somewhere else, which hasn't come before us. However, it could be hard, it's difficult for anybody, any sex offenders that are living in Green Bay to find a place, so that could run into a big problem, since the crime.
May I comment on that?
Sure.
Sure.
I will live with my mother until she passes away, and if something happens, then I will either, if I'm able to, stay in the house, or if I had to, I would move back to Kansas. But I will stay with my mother until something happens to her. It wouldn't bother me if it was 1 year, 40 years, I would stay there, because that's what I belong doing to help my mother in her age as she's at.
Can I ask, with your sentencing, were you given any restrictions, like not being on the internet, not having an iPhone, anything like that?
I am not allowed around children. As far as the internet goes, I'm not 100% sure. I was told I can't do Facebook and dating sites and stuff like that. And I have no problem staying off of all that stuff. It's not a big deal to me. I do have, of course, other restrictions. Not allowed to go to parks and stuff like that, just the general sex offender rules. That's no problem abiding by them rules.
Do you know if you are approved, how long the agreement would take for you to get back here?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I I'm assuming it's instantaneous, I don't know. My PO is shaking her head yes, that it would be most likely about media type situation. I would have to ask for a couple days to get my truck ready, like an oil change and rotate tires and stuff like that, and it'll take so it'll be there no later than Saturday until it's approved. And register, I would register that day if that's even possible on the weekend, I don't know. I could try to make it on Friday and register then, if that was the case.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve address specific to 1206 Marshall Avenue for 90 days. That's my motion.
I'll second that motion.
Can I ask a question?
Not while we're voting. That box didn't pop up. But I'm a yes.
Motion passes 3-1.
Okay. Michael, you're approved to come to Green Bay, address specific, for 90 days. After 90 days, you'll have to come back before the board. I guess I'm going to suggest that you come back with job information, treatment information, and your probation rules for Brown County.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
It was answered, you answered it right.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, bye-bye.
May I ask what he does when he gets here?
I'm assuming that his Department of Corrections agent is going to give him all of the instructions and rules. So whoever did the house inspection, I would probably contact them.
Okay,
Okay?
okay,
Thank
thank you very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is Chester Flowers.
Come up here.
Yes, please, have a seat up here. Chester, have you ever been before us before?
No.
Okay. So you heard me tell the previous gentleman, when we asked you about your crime, we asked that you not name the victim or the relationship of the victim. Okay? So we'll go ahead and, well, let's see, first you're requesting to move to 1065 Bader Street, number 3.
Number 2,
Number 2?
yes.
Is that a problem?
We can make amendments. When you make the motion, you can use the correct address.
Okay. All right. So if you could go ahead and tell us what happened, what you were convicted of, and how it came about.
I was convicted of second degree sexual assault of a child. My victim, at the time, her age was 15, or around that age at that time. She was a runaway. She was hanging at the house with my nephews. And I made a poor choice. That's the bottom line. I knew it was something that I shouldn't do. At the time, I had daughters at that age, and I wouldn't want nobody to do that to my child. So I take full responsibility for what I did, and I'm ashamed of what I did.
And how old were you?
I believe at the time, because my birthday is in July, I believe I was 49 at the time, going on 50.
And what did you actually do to her?
I had sex with her.
And how did it get reported to the police?
She left with some people and went to, I don't know their names. I know one of them name.
That, we don't need the names.
But they took her, I think, to Marinette, that's up north, right?
Mm-hmm.
They took her to Marinette, and I think she was her father or somebody lived in Penvine. And they took her to the school, and the school reported it to the Green Bay Police Department.
And then when the police confronted you about it, did you admit what you did?
Yes, the police, they came and picked me up. They didn't pick me up at home. They picked me up at the Brown County Jail and took me to the Chicago Police Department. And we talked about it, and they told me that they had witnesses and things about it. So I signed a statement. And I've been in treatment basically for the last a little over 18 years. I was in treatment.
You have the opportunity to discuss your treatment in private or closed session or public session. Which would you prefer?
Public.
Okay, I just wanted to give you that option.
Okay.
So, before we get to that, so that offense, I'm guessing that's the one that occurred in Cook County in the 70s?
No.
Which is that one that you just told us about? Because it appears you have 3 separate offenses listed on your application.
Yes.
So the one you just told us about, what year did that one happen?
And I think it's 2000, wasn't it?
Okay.
2000.
But it happened here,
Yes.
but they took you to Chicago.
No.
Oh, I thought
Oh,
you said
I
the
knew
Green
too.
Bay Police Department took you to
No,
Chicago.
some people took her to Marinette.
Oh, okay, I think a little bit. Officer, do you have a thing on that? And I know it's kind of.
So, yes. The Marinette Police Department did contact the Green Bay Police Department. I think he misspoke when he said he was brought down to the Chicago Police Department. It was actually the Green Bay Police Department when he gave his statement.
Okay. And everything's accurate as to what he said?
Yes, what he has said so far is accurate.
Okay, all right. And then it looks like you have 2 convictions in Cook County.
Yes.
Can you tell us about the one that occurred in 1981? That one you listed as attempted deviant sexual
I was
assault.
arrested for attempted deviant sexual assault.
Okay. And what is that? What did you do?
It was attempted, they said, well, I attempted to have sex with her. I had been out drinking, and I had wanted to have sex with her.
And how old was she?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think I was about 30-some years old, I believe.
Okay. And then you have something that happened in the 70s?
In 1971, I believe it was 1971 and 70.
Mm-hmm. And what happened there?
Me and another guy, we sexually assaulted 2 women one night after drinking and doing drugs.
So let's go back to the Brown County case. You were only sentenced to 4 years
Yes,
for that offense?
yes,
But you're currently on supervised release,
Yes.
is that correct?
yes.
Okay. And that's going to be lifetime for you?
No.
No? So if we approve you, you're done and you're off supervised release?
If I'm approved to live at the address or live here in Brown County, yes, I'll be offered supervised release.
Okay. Does anyone have questions about his crimes?
I do. You say, I feel she was shocked and felt betrayed. I feel she could have developed PTSD. Can you explain that? Why?
About my victim here in Brown County?
Correct.
I felt that way because personally, when I was a kid, I was sexually assaulted multiple times. And the thing about it, like with post-traumatic stress, it kind of never leaves you. It kind of haunts you. And there's a great ripple effect to that. And I feel that the ripple effect of how her parents, how she feels, and probably how her kids feel today, and how she feel when strangers or somebody like that, myself, comes around her children. And I feel that with the PTSD, it's like she needs treatment. But I know I need treatment, probably for the rest of my life.
Mr. Flout, may I ask a question?
Go on.
Okay, no, I want to make sure I wasn't interrupting. Mr. Flowers, it looks like you, from the certificates you provided us, that you were at Sandridge
Yes, ma'am.
as far back as, or as recent as 2016?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, if that's, as part of your treatment, if that's okay?
About the various and different certificates I've had.
Right, and also, why did you go to Sandridge?
It's a part of after I did my prison sentence, they take you back to court and take you before the judge, and you become civically committed. And when you become civically committed, you have to go to Sand Ridge.
Okay. So, do you know how long you'll be on supervision? When that end date is?
When you asked me about the 4 years, I was sentenced to a total of 10 years. My probation ended in 2011. So I was through with my time, but by me being civically committed, I've been incarcerated for over the past 18 years.
Okay, that makes, thank you.
Have you been released previously, put out on supervised release or conditional release from Sandridge?
Yes.
And when was the first time you were out?
2014.
And why did you get sent back?
I went back to Sand Ridge because of some rule violations. I was going to church, and I had a relationship with one of the ladies at church. I thought my agent had approved it, and that's what I was under the impression of. And so I come to find out, they said it was an unapproved relationship. It was age appropriate and consensual.
Okay. And then how long did you stay in there for that visit?
Well, I went back and I had some programs that I had to do, assignments I had to do, and I went in and dug in, and I did the assignments, and I finished it in about 1 year and 2 months. But before that, but it took an extra 3 or 4 months for me to get released back into the community.
Okay, so you got released roughly 2016,
November the 1st of 2016, yes.
and you haven't been back?
No, ma'am.
And where have you been staying?
1744 South Norwood Avenue on the west side.
So that's where you, oh no, you want to go to, but that's outside of the residency, isn't it?
I'd have to check the map.
I know there's a section of Norwood that is not part of the boundary. And were you placed there by the Department of Health and Human Services or Department of Corrections?
Originally, I was placed at, I think it's 1735 11th Avenue. The two people that was originally living at 1744, they got into some type of scuffle, and so they took me out of that house and they put me at 1744 there.
Okay.
And why are you moving?
Pardon?
Why are you moving? Why do you want to move?
So I can have a place to live.
Oh, did I miss something?
Well, I'm guessing, are you trying to apply for discharge? Is that what you're discharging from supervised release? Is that what you're trying to do?
I went to court, I believe it was in September, and I received my discharge.
Okay,
They call it a delayed discharge.
okay.
And by the end of this month, I'll be discharged from being a sexually violent person. And I don't have no place to live, and I don't have no place to stay.
Okay. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm guessing both of those addresses were outside of the boundaries.
I'm looking at the Norwood one. It looks like the Norwood one may have been outside of the. Yeah, the Norwood address was outside of the restriction.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you're okay to talk about your treatment in public. So, obviously you probably did all your treatment through Sand Ridge.
I did some in prison as well.
Which prison were you at?
I was at Walpon and I was at Oshkosh.
Okay,
I did anger management. I was in the deniers program. I couldn't get in the sex offender treatment program at Oshkosh because, as you said, I had 4 years and the program extended before. Like when I got there, I think I had about 2.5 years left.
okay.
And so all my other treatment, I turned in the certificates. It was all done at Sand Ridge, and I'm in treatment now.
And where are you doing that at?
I'm doing it in Grand Chute. I have my therapist, her name is Mary Catherine.
Is it through Attic?
Attic takes me there.
Okay.
They take me there. She used to be through Reach,
Okay.
and now I think she's in another place called the Healing Place.
Oh, okay.
And we have discussed about my option. I discussed it even when I was at Sand Ridge about my continuing treatment, even after I'm discharged, because it's my personal belief that I need it. I need something to fall back on. I'm also planning on, because I had a problem with drugs most of my adult life, to also get in the AODA program. And I have certificates even from AODA when I took that at Sand Ridge.
Why don't you tell us what you've learned about the sex offender treatment? What are your triggers? How are you going to stop things?
Well, one of the most important things that I learned at Sand Ridge, it was a couple of lessons. I don't know if you ever heard about a cup of tea. You heard about the cup of tea. That impressed me a great deal because in the scenario, if a person consents to have sex with you and change their mind, you don't go in and force yourself. If you go and a woman agree to have sex with you and she's passed out, you don't go in there and force yourself upon her. The other one was about coercion. And you may have a girlfriend and you lay on her kind of like a guilt trip. And she's telling you, no, I don't want to have sex. And you are laying that trip on her about, you don't care about me, you don't love me, all you're doing is thinking about yourself. And she really don't want to have it, but you know, coercion is a way of force also. And through my experiences at Sand Ridge, we had to do timelines. And I kept everything like bottled up inside me. And what had happened to me through my life, and it helped me bring it out. You know, that various sexual assaults that happened to me. So.
wrote down for work and church, Pastor Linda. You work do you work at a church? Is that what you're?
I work for Manna for Life.
Yeah, okay. And Pastor Linda's there.
Yeah. And I attend the Manna for Life Church.
So obviously you've been incarcerated for a long time.
Yes.
How do you think that you're gonna be on your own without supervision?
I feel I do pretty good. I had a lot of time to like meditate, and that's one of the other programs that I took was mindfulness. And you know, to rely on treatment. I don't have that desire to drink anymore. I don't have that desire to do drugs in my life again. I don't hang with the crowds. I don't want that no more. That was one of my biggest problems living in Chicago. The reason why I came to Green Bay was to get away from the things and that was going on in my life in Chicago. And I came here thinking I left that garbage backing up, and I brought that garbage with me to Green Bay. Something I regret because of the way I was treated here. People treated me like I've never been treated. They welcomed me. I think I do good on my own. I think I do good. I'm doing good living by myself now. I've been living in that house now for 15 months now. And I haven't had no problems and no issues.
Correct me if I'm wrong, when you go out in the community, do you have supervision? Is someone with you all the time?
No.
No?
No, they drop me off at work.
Okay.
I shop by myself.
You do? Okay.
I work by myself. Everything I do, they just drop me off. When I go to treatment, they drop me off.
Do they come in and check on you periodically?
Every once in a while they do a random, but they haven't been doing it frequently, not lately.
Okay.
When I go to church, I go by myself now.
Okay. Anyone questions? Do you have anyone here to speak on your behalf?
Pastor Linda and Pastor Jim, they were supposed to come. My therapist, Mary Catherine, said she was going to come, and Alex from Attic, they said they was coming, but they're working people, so I shouldn't see.
Okay. Questions, or anyone want to make a motion?
Mr. Flowers, do you have any other support system besides Pastor Linda and the other people that you mentioned?
Yes, ma'am. I have siblings. I have. You mean in the Green Bay area?
Yes.
I have nephews. I have cousins. Let's see. I have a bunch of nephews. I can't name them all because they didn't grow since I've been incarcerated. My cousins been moved here. I think it's about 4 or 5 different families that moved here. I have a kind of large support. You know, that's what they said, Sand Ridge, and in the prison system that I had this here support system that was kind of large. Plus my sisters that's in Topeka and 2 sisters in Chicago. My daughters, and they support me.
Do you have frequent contact with them?
My children?
Or your support system here in Green Bay?
Yes. Because of the restrictions, we are only allowed a certain amount of people on our approved. Yes.
you.
The reason why I grimace, I just had surgery Monday, and that's why, kind of stiff.
That's okay.
Do you have anybody here that wants to speak for you?
No, you just said that.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
Is what you have is what he's been saying as far as,
Accurate, yes.
okay.
Yes, anybody want to make a motion?
Before we get to the motion, I just want to clarify the address one more time. The application and the landlord letter both said number 3, 1065 Bader Street, number 3. Are you saying that it's number 2?
Yes, it's, I don't know what it's kind of like a duplex with 2 in the front and 2 in the back. The people didn't move out of the one in number 3, so the people moved out of number 2, and they preparing that house apartment for me.
Because I think that we would need to have approval from the landlord for that unit.
Specific unit?
Yeah.
Is it permissible to do,
A phone call?
to
We got a phone number.
Yeah, we could
Go and call?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's at 20264.
You would probably have to call the Jesus number.
The what?
3643. This is Hayes. That's the number we're calling.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Oh,
Is Jesus there?
yeah. That's me.
This is Heidi Michael with the Green Bay Sex Offender Residency Board. We have Chester Flowers in front of us right now, and you signed a letter that he could live at one of your apartments. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Oh yeah, the guy, yeah.
Okay, the information we were provided said it was 1065 Bader Street, number 3.
Yeah, it's number 2.
It is number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, we just wanted to confirm that. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, man.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, that's good enough then?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Flowers, one quick question. How long have you been at the Norwood Street address?
Totally,
Since
5
you,
years.
5 years, and that was upon, was there any interruption?
Yeah, what we had talked about.
Okay, so in the most recent period of time, how long have you been there?
This isn't, this isn't. 2.5 years, a little over 2.5
Okay,
years.
okay. Motion to approve address specific to 1065 Bader Street, number 2, Green Bay.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
I'll send the vote.
Is there?
The vote passes 3-1.
Okay, so you're approved to move to 1065 Bader Street, number 2. Would you like us to send your letter there?
It's 1744.
Okay.
I'm not permitted to move out until the judge said at 12 p.m.
Okay.
On that day, and so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Just so you know, if you do decide to move from that location, you would need to come back before us.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Good luck.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Next on the agenda is Andrew Hines-Chaplain.
Good evening.
Hi. All right, you're requesting to move to 2241 Imperial Lane, number 4, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and have you been here before?
Nope.
Okay, so as you heard me explain, when we ask you about your crime, we don't want you to name the victim or the relationship. And then you have the opportunity to go into closed session if you wish to talk about your treatment. Would you like to go into closed or remain in public?
I'm all right.
Okay. So first of all, why don't you tell us about your offense?
On or about February 20th, 1999, I assaulted a 14-year-old boy where I put my hand up and grabbed his penis without his permission. That's count 1. Count 2 is a 15-year-old boy that I got on top of, humped, ejaculated, and he ran out of the building.
Okay, 2 counts.
Yes.
And how old were you?
I was 33. Or 32, actually. My birthday's tomorrow.
Okay. And you were only given 20 years probation for that?
No.
No jail time?
No.
Okay.
2 different counts, 2 different sentences. Count 1 for the 14-year-old boy, I did 20 years in prison.
Oh, okay.
Count 2 for the 15-year-old is the 20 years probation that I'm serving now.
Okay.
I just got out of prison on February 20th, 2019 after serving the 20-year sentence for count 1.
Okay. What made you do that?
At the time, I was drunk, immature, and kind of just did what I wanted to do and didn't have any regard for other people's feelings. Purely self-gratifying behavior, destructive.
In your appeal,
Sorry.
it's hard to read. I feel it
understand.
did something damage to him, and then you
I
never
did.
finished it.
I feel I did some irreparable damage because the victim on count 1 ended up in prison while I was in prison. That I know just because you have SPNs, and I didn't have problems with other people in prison while I was in it, so I knew. Just put 2 and 2 together. I'm a pretty smart individual, so I figured that he was in there. So, part me, I believe. I mean, besides whatever he did or did not do, I believe that I probably had a part. I had a part in that due to what I did to him. So I take there's some responsibility I have for him being in there. I don't know the parameters of the other things he did. That doesn't have anything to do with me. But I feel that I probably, or did actually, play a part in that, in his criminal behavior.
Mr. Hines-Chaplain,
Yes.
in your paperwork that you submitted, it shows that what ties do you have to Green Bay?
At the time I was here, none.
Okay. What about now?
Well, besides my agent, and I have some people from the veterans, people helping me out and supporting me, and I'm working now, and I'm in treatment, and I'm doing things. I just got out. I've only been out 2 months, so the working is great, but it's a little struggle to navigate the 21st century. Since the last time I was out, it was the 20th century.
Where are you working now? Because I don't think we had that information.
AK Pizza Crust. It's on Walker Drive, 3050, which is part of the reason why I wanted to move to the area I'm asking about, because it's closer to where I'm at now is a TLP, and that's like, if I walk, it'll take me 20 years to get there. So, sorry, but so I just want somewhere close in case I have to walk, that would get me there in not 3 hours.
Okay.
So you're, am I correct, you're originally from California?
I'm originally from San Francisco, yes, and I tried to, when I got out, to go back, but because I didn't have enough time with the DOC and all that, I was sent back here.
What brought you to Green Bay?
Back in '98, jobs. Out there it was hard to find work, and I wanted to kind of start over. I was in my early 30s, and I had My goal was to come here and try to start over. I had some issues out there with other convictions. Burglary was the first crime I ever did. So I was kind of thinking this was inappropriate. I keep getting in trouble, even if it's minor misdemeanor stuff, and I want to come try to start over.
Have you had any programming, excuse me, since 99? Treatment?
Yeah, I did AODA in 2001. I had a certificate, I submitted that.
Right.
I did anger management, I submitted that, and I did a deniers program, which is to start to talk about the crime that I had committed.
But that was all back in 2001, right?
Between 2001 and 2002, yes.
Anything since then?
I did, had an attempt to do the offender program while I was in, and at that time I wasn't ready to deal with those issues at that time. And since I've been out, I've started program within last month. And I'm in a program with Kirkpatrick and Associates, which meets at the Micah Center every Thursday. It's ran by a guy that works closely with my agent and stuff. So I pay $30 a week. So I've been doing that. And then I go to a Circles of Support group, which is other offenders trying to help navigate the world, and I have people at the job center with like the VA, they're helping me too to deal with the issues of being reintegrated into the community.
How long were you in the military?
About 1.5 years.
And when was that?
Between 1990 and 91.
And was that during,
It was the beginning of it.
okay.
Where did you spend the majority of your prison sentence at?
Oshkosh Correctional Institution, the last 12 years, yes,
Okay.
that's the majority.
Just because I'm not familiar with any of the certificates that you got, the location.
Well, because when I first came in, I had 20 years, and they sent people back then, they had contracts with out-of-state facilities.
Oh, were you in Tennessee?
Yes,
Oh,
those are all
okay.
done in Whiteville, Tennessee,
Okay.
and I did a couple of vocationals in Appleton, Minnesota.
Okay. That explains it.
So yes, they were sending people there, so my first 5 years in prison were spent out of state
Okay.
until 2004. And then I went to Kettle Moraine, and then I went to Waupun, and then I spent my rest of my time at Oshkosh until I got out,
Okay.
just recently.
All right. Anybody have any other questions for him? Anyone willing to make a motion? I'm catching it.
Is there anyone here to speak on your behalf?
Yes, I have
Oh, I'm sorry.
several people.
Oh, I apologize. Thank you. If whoever's here to speak on his behalf, you can step forward.
I did.
Thank you. I apologize
Well, thank
for
you,
that.
but I was.
Yeah.
I was like, where's
Sometimes
that other
they'll remind
part?
me.
That's why we're here together.
Just get a crowd.
Yeah. Just go ahead and state your name and address for the record.
Name is Roy DeRuyter, address 1079 Butternut Lane, Oneida. And Circles of Support, he comes, he attends all the time. He speaks, he contributes, he does very well there in the group. So.
My name is Katrina Nelson. I'm the area manager for the Center for Veterans Issues. What we do is we provide assistance for veterans. We provide security deposit up to the first 3 months of rent. I also would like you to know I'm the former supervisor for Attic Correctional Services, supervising the sex offender treatment program. So I do see through that lens as well. What would I like you to know? I was, when I first met him on the phone, I was very impressed because he had already was off the ground and running. He had found a job within weeks of his release, and he started working right away, which is always a good sign when we talk about recidivism. He had already looked at several apartments, he was very motivated, and we did talk about treatment because being from that realm, I understood that, that's one of the precursors to reduce recidivism. So, he was very open to talk about treatment, he was very forthcoming about his crime, took responsibility from the beginning, and I was very pleased to see that. And he's been very easy to work with, he's been compliant for my program. His paperwork has been organized, he's on the ball, and complies as he's asked to. So I've been working with him for about a month or so. So.
Okay.
My name is Thomas Beverly. I work at the Job Center, Wisconsin over here. I'm a global career development facilitator, short word, I'm a job coach. So our credentialing allows us to assess a special group, a target group, veterans, disabled veterans, veterans that are homeless, at-risk veterans. So I've been doing that for a good number of years. So a lot of what we do is try to find out what skills they have through Kelsey testing, through some RISEC testing, through Hines Code. Just getting down and talking about what the issues are. Why are you here? You're a vet, you're qualified, you have your core values. I spent 26 years in the Navy, so we kind of go there first, just to develop a relationship. So we try to dig into what that is that causes them to spin off. That's part of what we are to do as job coaches and case managers. But with him, I just found out that he was very energetic. He had a vision, something that he had thought about. I sit with veterans all the time. A lot of veterans I meet with don't have any vision. He had already knew what he wanted to do, and he just needed to know how to get there. So I wasn't certain, so I tested him. So I gave him a Hines test, and he scored high in enterprising and realistic careers, which was culinary. And then I gave him an interest profiler, and it was culinary again. So he says, I told you. So he wants to cook. So we started down that journey. I wanted to see if he would be prompt and come back. He wanted to share his crime with me the same day. We spoke for maybe 3 hours, I think. So that day, he wanted to call his probation and parole officer. So I sat down and called Kim, like right away. I go where they let me go. So we talked to Kim for another half hour. I wanted to know what his boundaries were, because he talked about college. Can he go to college? Can he because of his crime? Very remorseful, and got kind of, second appointment, he got kind of choked up. So we let that go, and we got back to the business of what are you going to do for the rest of your life. So he talked about, echo what Katrina says a lot of it. It's very compliant, it's prompt, discusses right away. He completed all of his job search requirements. He completed his own resume out on a job center computer. He says he didn't have a lot of job skill, but I don't know how he learned how to use a computer so quickly. So he wanted to get a job search. He says, my goal is to get my dignity back, my faith, and to have my mother proud of me before I die.
I'm sorry, I have to stop. I'm gonna.
Sure, go right ahead. So that is 3 of the things we talked about. So I said, if you're ready to start work, I said, I do need a couple of days because you're a vet. So I sent him over to the CVSO's office. He is a service-connected vet, 30%. So he's got back pay coming. So I needed to start that paperwork. The veterans need to know he was out of prison because they only allow him to have 10% while they're incarcerated. So he's got a few years of back pay coming at some point, probably at the 90-day mark. Get him enrolled in the VA.
Service connection, for you guys that don't know, it's a disability. And the military rates it by percentage rate.
Sure.
And then the CVSO is a county veteran service officer. So they kind of help, that's okay.
Yeah.
We're in it, so we're constant.
So-
But they kind of help coordinate veterans and their services once they're released, because a lot of veterans coming out of the service don't know what their
They have
benefits
no
are.
idea. So he does have the GI Bill benefits as well to go to school. So we're looking at, our career plan was set in 2 phases for him because he said he needed to have a job for a certain period of time. We worked that, and now we're looking at September, him entering the culinary degree program. So he does have GI Bill benefits paid for it. He's all set. I didn't have to do anything. He just showed up ready to go. So whatever he was doing, professional-wise, that's all I can speak to. His character has been golden. Never been late, is always on time. Sharp, very good hygiene, which says a lot to me about a veteran. He's not a rigid thinker. He's very crystallized in his beliefs. And I think he'll do it.
Let me ask, so once, like, if he gets approved, I mean, are your services still going to continue? This just isn't because you're coming here?
Nope, the services continue for his life.
Okay. And does he meet with you, like, how often?
Well, he calls me all the time, but typically, like, once a week I'm great with, but I mandate at least once a month, but they typically call me every week. Our program is 90 days with the possibility of a recertification, depending how they're doing financially and how they're financial planning. So I serve the person and environment because I'm a social work background. So, we look at his financial stuff, his employment, all that. So he's getting case management from me directly, which is that's my job. Case manage as well as supervise, but, so he could be possibly, he could recertify for case management if he so chooses to do so.
Which I probably am going to do, because I'm trying to.
I've seen a countless number of that.
I did it wrong the first time. I want to do it right this time. So I'm working on doing it right. I work with my agent every week, and we talk about stuff that I can start to be able to do, because the rules, I can't go to a park, can't go to a mall, can't do social media, but I don't even, remember I went to prison, I have a hard time working this phone. Sometimes I just want to throw it away, but I gotta keep it. I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Some days I just want to throw it in the garbage can and say, can I get a phone that just does this? But unfortunately, the way the world operates today,
Sure.
everything happens through this. So I'm getting used to it. But as far as meeting people, I know very few. 20 years in prison, I'm kind of just dealing with the help I get, the support system. I haven't really.
I have checked on his employer, and that's part of what we do. His employer wish they had 20 of them. He's willing to work overtime but can't. He does the extra things around the job that people don't want to do, and they see maybe in that particular career field, which is what I go to school for, they would allow him time to go to school because of his performance. I don't think they have an issue. I've seen lots of vets before the last 5 years, and this is the first time you've seen me. So that's a testament to what I believe about these conditions.
Okay. Any questions?
Can I ask why you were only in the military a year and a half?
Probably the same reason why I did what I did to go to prison. My mindset knows I was young. I wasn't making right choices. It was a good choice to get in there, but I was making wrong choices in my life.
He did get an honorable discharge.
I got honorable discharge, but I wasn't ready for that. I was immature, which is no excuse to do what I did. There's no excuse. I'm just saying that my mind was not the way it is today. I've learned a lot about me, about behavior, about what caused. I was a person that things would go good, and then I'd figure out a way to destroy it. And I'm working very hard not to do that. So,
Just so I can have full disclosure, it was an injury, a medical condition.
It's a medical discharge.
Medical
Okay.
discharge.
Okay.
but I'm working hard to. Things are going well now. I have a good system. So when I'm having issues, I talk with the group, I talk to my agent, and I do homework and all that. So, and she lets me call her anytime there's any issue or something that I'm not sure of, because I'm not sure of a lot of things these days. I call these people and I get the advice I need so I can keep chugging right along.
Okay. Any more questions for these guys? No? Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Any more questions for Andrew, or anybody would like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Mr. Hines-Chaplain.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Never mind. The movie consent, yeah. Sorry, I didn't know.
It's okay. I lost
So
it.
the confusion.
2241 Imperial Lane. Number 4, address specific for a period of 90 days. And then I'd like to have him come back and see how he's doing
Okay.
at that point with everything.
That's fine.
Is there a second? Okay, all in favor?
Nothing popped up for me.
The gentleman's helped.
See, I know, I'm sure.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank
So
you.
you're approved. You'll have to come back in
That's
90 days
fine.
with the documentation she's requesting. Do you want us to mail you that letter to the attic or to the new address?
You can mail it to 1761.
Okay, all right, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
What documentation?
I didn't say some documentation, see how you.
Oh, just, I'm sorry,
Oh,
to see
just a
how you were
report to
doing.
see how things are going. That's fine.
apologize.
Thank you. You guys have a nice evening.
You too. Next on the agenda is Albert Rutherford.
Thank you, guys.
First time before the board?
Yes, it is.
Okay. You're requesting to move to 1240 Harvey Street, number 2?
Yes.
Okay. And as you heard me explain to everybody else, we'll ask you about your crime, just don't name the relationship or the name of your victim. So what were you convicted of?
I was convicted of child enticement in 2013. What it involved was I had posted an ad on Cresge soliciting sex.
Listening?
No, soliciting.
Oh,
sorry,
okay, sorry.
soliciting sex.
Okay.
An underage 15-year-old male responded. When I agreed to meet him, it ended up being a sexting. And then I was arrested. I can't have a hard time with that. Whatever that, okay. Forgive me, I'm nervous too, so. But then I was arrested at that time in 2013 in September.
And how old were you?
28.
And you knew he was underage?
Yes. Unfortunately, when I originally read the message, I thought it might have been a typo. Then I had an excuse for it. I should have just left it alone at the time. But then after corresponding with him through text message, then I realized that he was 15, yes.
And what was your intent when you went to go meet him?
I was going back and forth. Like, originally it was just to hang out and see what happened, and then we had talked about sexual contact with each other. He had mentioned about bringing a friend with and bringing weed with, and then so I agreed to meet him. He had told me that he had used his money that he got for his birthday to get a taxi over to the area. So I felt guilty that he was using his money and then went to go meet him. So not an excuse. I can't make any excuses for it. It was poor judgment. I was high on Adderall also, and I know that drugs are a major thing for me. So.
And what did you get for a sentence?
Originally, I ended up getting 10 years on probation. I ended up getting revoked in 2016 in March, and then it was a withheld sentence, so they sentenced me to 4 in and 4 out, and then I just got out in February, and then I have 4 years of probation.
Why'd you get revoked?
Drug usage, and then unapproved sexual contact with adults. They weren't approved relationships from my PO.
Okay.
And what about the 1998?
I was 12 years old at the time.
Oh, I'm sorry, juvenile, didn't see that.
Oh.
I'm sorry, never mind.
Okay, we won't talk about that.
Yep.
And so you have the option to talk about your treatment in private, closed session or public, which would you like to do?
Fine in public.
Okay. So have you received any kind of sex offender treatment at this point?
I'm disappointed to say no. When I originally got revoked, I was in treatment. I was in it for, I don't remember exactly how many sessions it was, but I was roughly about halfway through. attempting to find housing was really getting to me. I hadn't even gotten this far because it's so hard to find a landlord, unfortunately, to rent to sex offenders, which I understand. And when I was in prison, they changed the standards, something about that they went to a different metric. I don't exactly understand it, but so instead of me doing the treatment there, I ended up not having enough time to do treatment. And then when I talked to my PO about it, they said that they're switching from the Attic Correctional to a new provider, something about contractual obligations and the lowest bidder. When I was in prison, I tried to get into treatment. I wrote them numerous times trying to get information about, like, if I could take the program and then if I needed to when I got out, take more treatment. I have no issue with treatment because as far as I'm concerned, there's always room for improvement and there's always room for, you can never have enough coping skills, I guess is the best way to put it. And like I said, I know that drugs are the major thing, and when I got revoked, it was the drugs, the sexual contact, and the housing thing. And I really want to start attending school again, but before I can do that, I want to be able to have a place that I know I can go to, so I want to start over and I want to make it right.
Can I just ask, what he said about his crime, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. And are you working right now?
Yes. When I was in prison, I actually wrote my previous employer. I think it was like a month before. They told me to come in and fill out the application. So the week that I got released, I think it was like the next day or the day after, because I had to stay at a hotel, because I'm currently living at the TLP. So that Wednesday or Thursday, I think it was that week that I got released, I went to my previous employer, filled out the application. They did the interview then. They said they were excited to get me back, and then they sent me out for the drug test, passed it, and then, but yeah, I've been working since then.
Where is that at?
Pioneer Meadow, over on Globe Street.
Okay.
They're talking about promoting me to a different position. It would be more responsibility, and that's another reason I'm trying to get the housing situation down, because I really don't want to have that stress on me.
So did you say, it says, have you lived in Green Bay before? You wrote no. Have you?
I lived in De Pere.
Okay.
I didn't know if that was, I understand it's all one area, but
Yeah.
I've never had to go in front of the board, so that's why I put no for that.
Okay.
I lived in De Pere for 5 years. From 2013 until 2018 when I moved over to Howard.
So you do have family here?
I don't have any family, but I do have friends.
Okay.
I do have a good support network at work. I have no issue talking about my crime because honestly, if I deny it, then all it's going to do is cause me more stress. I'm very open and honest with my PO. I don't like hiding stuff from people just because it causes me too much anxiety to have to deal with the added stress of lying about something, and I can't lie. I have a horrible time lying. So, but I have my friends, Jessica, her mother Jerry, who's here to talk for me. I'm very motivated to make things right. So I just really want the opportunity to prove myself.
Any questions or motions?
Is there something you want to speak?
Oh, there are people here that want to speak on your
Yeah,
behalf?
yeah.
Sorry, I keep forgetting that. I should see that on the little board here. Okay, who's ever on here for his behalf, come on up.
Oh, excuse me. I have a fractured hip.
Oh. If you can just state your name and address for the record.
My name is Jerry Wolf, and I live at 1634 9th Street, apartment 206 in Green Bay.
Okay. What would you like to?
Well, I would like to state that Albert is very rambunctious and very kind and generous kind of a person. I met him through my daughter. We've known each other now about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I contacted him quite a few times while he was in prison, and we got to know each other pretty good. So I kind of consider him a son, another son. And he does call me Mom Wolf, so. And I think he's very ambitious, and I think what he really needs right now is his own place to live, and he's very, I wouldn't say outgoing, because he's real kind of to himself, but I think if he had his own place, he would be able to, the place that he's looking at anyway, he would be able to get around the city a lot better because it's close to the main station, bus station. He goes to work every day. He's been very friendly at work with, like my daughter, she's known him for quite a few years. So all I can say is he's just a great person.
Okay. Any questions for her?
No.
All right, thank you.
Albert, I have one question. Are you in touch with your family at all?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I talk to my dad like weekly. He unfortunately he lives down in Florida. He's been trying to talk about getting up here, and this is gonna sound horrible, but he's been saying that for like 6 years, and he's getting older. So he's like 64 now, and if I get the 2-room apartment, I've been trying to figure out if he would be willing to move up here. I want him to be closer to his family. Like I talked to my sisters, they're coming down Monday to talk to my PO.
They're all in Florida?
No, they're up in Michigan.
Oh.
I'm originally from Michigan.
Okay.
I moved down here for better job opportunities because Menominee at the time did not have much of anything back in 2013. But yeah, no, I don't really talk to my mom all that much. I talked to my stepmom. My dad passed away a few years ago, so I'm adopted, so I know everybody, so it might be a little bit confusing talking about all of it. My birth mom lives in California. I don't have her number, and I've been trying to get a hold of her. So I haven't been able to talk to her in like 2 years now since I went back to prison. But yeah, my family is really important to me. If I could get my dad to move up here, I totally would, just to get him off on the right foot. I know that he wants to talk. He's talking about getting back with my mom. So if I can get him back up here to make things happen for him, I'm trying. So.
Anything else?
Go ahead. On Family Watchdog, there already is a defender living in the lower of this. Is it up in
I talked
lower,
to,
upper?
because my PO wasn't in last week, and I talked to Barbara about it, which was the PO that I saw, and she said that it should be fine, because she just said there shouldn't be, she just said there shouldn't be an issue with it. As far as I know, there is one, but Bo knows about it because Bo said, I'm talking about the landlord, she said that she wants to give everybody a second chance. So, obviously I don't think there would really be any contact between us because I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know who he is, I don't know.
Well, part of the reason is we just don't want to have a lot of people.
I got you, I understand.
So I just wanted them to be aware of that.
One question I had is, back in 2010, you were extradited?
Yeah, unfortunately, when I moved down here from Michigan, because of my juvenile case, I had failed to register in Wisconsin. I didn't realize that I had to and I ended up getting, I don't know what that's called, but basically where you don't register in the state, and then they ended up issuing a warrant for my arrest, and then I ended up getting arrested.
And you were extradited back to Michigan?
Yeah, and then I got, I think it was like 3 days time served, and I had to pay a fine.
Okay.
And then when I talked to the De Pere police officer, he said that fortunately that they weren't going to do anything as long as I got registered, got on the roll, and just taking care of the situation.
Okay. Are you, okay, you may have addressed this, I'm sorry if I missed it. Are you in treatment now, or have you contacted anybody so that you can
I'm currently waiting on the referral. My PO is in the process of getting it. She said that they're in the process of switching everybody over to the new treatment. Like I said before, I was in treatment before I got revoked, and I was in there for roughly about 6 months before I ended up getting revoked. Like I said, I want treatment. I'm not trying to like get out of it or anything. It's just right now there's a transitional period from the addict to the new provider that they have, and I'm just waiting on my PO to get it confirmed through the new provider. And like I said too, you can never have too many coping skills or too much help in getting stuff taken care of.
Oh, down this way. Okay, where's it there? Hey, I'll bring that part down. Here, you wanna? I'm just trying to see who it is that's in there. Oh, there it is right here. Go this way. This is Harvey, right here, this is Harvey. With these people.
Did somebody come to speak on your behalf?
Yeah, Jerry was just up
Just
here.
Jerry said,
Yeah.
I'm cold medicine and apologize.
I guess it doesn't really matter. Do you know the person that lives below you?
And I don't know.
Okay.
That looks familiar.
Okay. Does anyone wanna make a motion?
Motion to approve, address specific for a period of 90 days to make, and just to come back and provide proof that you're in treatment
Okay.
and everything is going well.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Rich? Same thing.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you so
Okay,
much, guys.
so, you just need to come back in 90 days with the documentation, that
I'm
she's
gonna get a
requested.
letter in the mail then.
Yes, do
Okay.
you want us to mail that letter to the attic, or do you wanna mail it to your new address?
We just send it to the new address.
Okay.
Just because this way, I'll make sure we get it just in case I
Okay.
forget to.
Yep.
Thank you guys. You have
Sure.
a great day.
You too, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. She's, gonna be withdrawing from the rest of the meeting.
That's fine. We still have
Okay.
quorum.
All right, next on the agenda is Brent Bishop. Oops, hold on, I gotta see if you have speakers, no speakers. All right, you, have been here.
Yes.
And I believe we just asked you to come back, is that correct?
Come back with work documents and documents on my therapist that I've been talking to.
Yep.
I don't have any of my documents with me right now. After I left here from meeting with you guys, I went back to Calumet County and got sentenced. They gave me 60 days to return myself in. I got to turn myself in on the 15th.
Of May?
No, June.
Oh,
So I literally right now I've been watching my daughter for most of the time, spending time with her before I turn myself in. I have to go do 4 months for them in the county. I was supposed to do it here. They denied me to do it here, so I had to go there and do it. So I've been basically spending time with my baby before I turn myself in. So I don't have any documents for you guys at the moment.
so are you still wanting to reside at this address when you get out in 4 months?
Yes, ma'am.
And why couldn't you get it? Why could you not get any documentation?
I could have got it. I have it. I just didn't bring it in because of I spent time with my daughter.
But you knew you needed it for this meeting.
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Well, I mean, that's why we were seeing you, is to get that documentation, see the documentation.
Yeah, I understand that, and I was spending more time with her because her birthday is July 14th. I'm not gonna be able to be here for her birthday or anything. So I was basically getting all the time I can with my daughter before her birthday comes up on the 14th of July.
But do you understand that if you don't bring the documentation, we can deny you and you won't be living there?
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
But you didn't care.
It's not I didn't care. Right now, at the moment, she's what I was thinking about. 60 days to turn myself in. I have to be going away from her. She's not even one, to be honest.
Well, a few hours, I don't know, it's my thinking, a few hours to come and get this taken care of so you don't have to worry after the 60 days or after you come out and be all taken care of. Now you will have no place to go.
Do you see where we're coming from? Do you?
Yes.
I mean, you just sat here for almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's 2 hours that you were away from her. The documentation that was requested back then shouldn't have taken you that long to get.
No, it wouldn't have taken me long to get. And I understand exactly where you guys are coming from.
Okay, well, is there any further discussion, or does anyone want to make a motion?
I think obviously we have to I'll make a motion to deny Mr. Bishop address specific to 118 South Van Buren Street.
And I will second that motion.
So,
All in favor?
Get out.
Aye.
Just a second. We have to vote first.
So this is a motion to deny, so a yes vote is to deny, just to clarify. A motion to deny passes 3-0.
Okay, so you'll no longer be able to stay at that 118 South Van Buren.
Okay, so what happens when I'm released after?
Unfortunately, that's not our concern. You'll have to find another place to reside and then come back before the board if you wish to live in Brown County or Green Bay.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is Alex Beard.
This is a letter from Alex. He missed the last meeting, so this is an apology from him.
Oh.
I got it after I sent the packet out, so.
Oh, okay. All right, so it looks like you were here before.
Several times.
Yeah, and we've asked you to come back.
No.
Get back there, hold on.
Yeah, I think you have a new address, right?
No,
Oh.
this is a new, yeah, this is.
Oh, okay, I apologize. All right, right now we have a letter provided by Mr. Beard that was sent on April 29th. Basically, it says he's writing regards his request to take up residence at 1840 10th Avenue. On 2 occasions, this board has approved my request to relocate within the community in order to improve living conditions for my family and myself. Last month, I asked the board to permit me to move to a still better home than we currently reside. In fact, my landlord had suggested the move and offered reasonable terms to make it possible. I arranged for a babysitter to watch the children while I attended the meeting, but unfortunately, the babysitter canceled at the last minute. With so little notice, I was unsure who to call to inform of my situation. I understand the importance of this board and apologize for any inconvenience I may have caused. I would certainly appreciate your support of my current request to provide a better home. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so on here it says 1840 10th Avenue. Our form says street.
It should be Avenue, that's my fault.
Okay, all right, just making sure.
You want this?
I can
Okay,
put this back in. Good.
so let's see, when was the last time you were here?
Ooh.
So October 10th of
Yeah.
2018, it looks like we approved you to move to Elmore Street.
726 Elmore, yes.
Yep. So you were living there up until,
I'm still,
You're
I
still
still
there.
reside there right now.
okay, but you want to better your family and move to 10th Avenue.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually, it was the house that my landlord, or myself, my family, and my landlord were first looking at. Unfortunately, at that moment, they had other plans on the other house, and I ended up taking the 726 Elmore.
Okay.
So he contacted me. He's also one of my friends as well. He contacted me, letting me know that that place is actually open to be able to move into, and he also was also trying to figure something out on his end as well, his and his partner's end for their business, to sell the home that I'm at now. And if that's the case, if I could move to the other place, he's able to sell that house, and then I get what I wanted from the beginning. So it's more of a trade-off.
Okay.
And yeah.
Before we go any further, I know you've been here a few times. Do we want him to go over his crimes or?
I don't need to.
Okay, yeah, we've got the documentation from previously. So we understand why you want to move. Are you working right now?
Yes,
Because where are you working? You don't have that on your application.
I should.
I don't see it on there.
I don't either.
Wow, I apologize.
That's okay.
I work at Rum Runner's Bar. I'm actually working to be part owner of that bar as well. So
Okay.
Do you bartend or?
yeah, I'm a bartender. I manage it right now.
Are you doing any, or, I'm sorry, if we want to talk about treatment or anything, are you okay if we?
Yeah, that's fine.
Public? Okay. Are you in any kind of treatment at this moment?
Not anymore. I
Completed all of that?
completed all of that. It's been a while since I did all that. And I honestly do not really know where all my certificates were. So I completed sex offender treatment and CGIP. CGIP was in Appleton at Attic. Tor Atkins for sex offender treatment here. Well, he's in Oneida. I was living in Freedom at the time when I was going through that.
Have you been in any trouble?
Nope. I finished my sentence, including my probation and everything, in 2014.
And you'll be living at this residence with your fiance and is it 2 children?
Yeah, we have 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah, I have a 6-month-old now.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions or to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Mr. Beard to 1840 10th Avenue, address specific.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
He didn't ask if you had anybody here to speak on.
He didn't, I looked at the agenda this time.
I do, actually. I
You
have
do? Oh, I'm like,
3.
I
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We apologize also.
No, that's fine.
Well, the motion approved, 3-0. so.
Okay, well, you're good to move to 1840 10th Avenue.
All right, I appreciate it.
All
Thank
right,
you very much.
good luck, thank you. All right, next we have Bobby Rudd.
Please tell us if you have somebody.
He has no speakers listed.
How do you see him?
Right here, on the side.
That's only if they turn on the sun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right, so you are looking to move to 2625 Humboldt Road?
Yes.
Okay. And you are currently homeless, correct? And have you ever been here before?
Back in 2010, when I was released from prison, I had to see over to State.
Okay.
And then where have you been since?
Back in 2013, I went back to prison.
For what?
Aggravated battery.
And how long did you serve for that?
4.5
Oh,
years. 4.5 years.
4.5.
Just look here.
And that was due to revocation and a new sentence. It was consecutive.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm thinking that you, let's see, do you want him to talk about his sex offense? It's listed from the previous time he was here. We can talk about it if you wish, or if you want to.
No,
You're good?
I'm okay.
Okay. Are you currently working?
Yes.
And where do you work?
I work at Wisconsin Builder Supply. Through U.S. Tech Force.
Okay, how long have you been there?
I've been there now 2 weeks. I was working at Rutherford for weeks.
And what happened with that job?
It was too repetitious. I generally work as a mason, so I like to be outside.
Okay.
They offered me a position out on the yard to do stacking, banding, and shipping and receiving. I took that position. It's better pay as well.
How long were you at American Foods?
American Foods, 2 months. Because I've been working on and off through temp agencies pretty much since my release. I've had jobs, mostly masonry jobs, but there's been a lot of layoffs due to the season, so I just take short-term contract jobs through temp agencies to get by. The job we're working now is a temp to hire.
And this is to stay, it's the Tower Motel, right?
Yes.
And they, like, rent rooms permanently?
Yes, they do long-term.
Oh.
Let's see. We will have room. Okay, that's approved.
I didn't understand what that bottom part meant, now I do. Have you just been staying on the streets? Have you been staying with
My car,
friends?
my car, and I have some in-laws here. So they have a 10-day grace period that you can stay from place to place. So we kind of bouncing around a lot.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that?
About a year now.
Okay.
Some pretty cold nights out there.
Was it that you needed the better paying job to get to the motel, or you just found it now, or?
No, I needed a job that was consistent. You know, it's stable.
Sure.
That's what I need.
Okay.
That's what I've had a lack of.
Okay.
The pay's been great on a lot of jobs, but if you're working
Just
3
temp.
weeks here, we
Sure.
demo in a building, then we find the best those are laid off for 2 or 3 months until they can clean it all out and it's no income.
Okay.
And with masonry, there's seasonal layoffs because of the winter.
Mm-hmm. All right, anyone have questions?
Was there any treatment or anything?
Yeah.
First treatment after my last release through Trent Family Services.
You did do June. Okay. But you didn't submit any paperwork or anything?
No, they said he was going to write me a letter. I tried to get a copy of my file. They said he generally writes a letter and send it to
Yeah.
me. It would take up to 14 days.
Oh, and you just recently asked for it?
Yeah, the day I submitted the application.
Got it.
Well, a lot of times I look at when they were previously approved, they must have had documentation, or was we
But
meant to
that was-
approve them? I know that was back in 2010, but he said
That
that.
was before I began treatment. During the time, I only was in prison for 2 years, so I didn't have the time frame to do treatment in prison.
Okay.
Like during my last incarceration, I've done anger management, thinking for a change. I received.
Oh, we'll take a look at those and we'll put those in, read them into the
I
record.
was trying to find my masonry.
Sure.
Masonry diploma.
Okay, so this is anger management through Kettle Moraine. We have a social service chronological history recording through Kettle Moraine, which is dated May of 2015. Basically scored a 96%, passed successfully. We have a tutor training through Wisconsin Literacy.
Yeah, that was received after completing the masonry application too.
Okay. 2016, Thinking for Change at Kettle Moraine. And the Offender Performance Evaluation for Cognitive Interventions Program. Phase 1 and 2 completed. Everything was satisfactory or good. So it says here, and this is dated, must be this, 2/26/16. It is recommended Mr. Rudd be aware of the following risk factors, warning signs while in the community: anger, resentment, hostility. If Mr. Rudd demonstrates any of these risk factors, it is recommended Mr. Rudd re-engage in CGIP to address his thinking errors and criminal thinking. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think I've been doing pretty well. Because of my situation, I've had recently had a lot of losses in my family. I had to file bankruptcy. I haven't acted out on any of it. I think I'm growing as a person.
Yeah.
I really do think I've made a lot of changes because I live a pretty carefree, apathetic life. I was kind of very selfish.
Okay. I mean, how long, if we would approve you to stay at the Tower Motel, how long do you think you want to stay there?
It's just until I can find a place. I can't exactly put a time limit on it because it's kind of expensive to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping soon, I'll be back soon.
Okay.
And as far as support in Green Bay, you have under Family of Terra, is that the only support?
No, she's my kid's mother. I have in-laws here. They're a big part of my support system. And I'd say my main support comes from my PO. My main support.
Marta?
Yes. Her and Don. Because Don was my, when I first got released. My workload got too heavy and turned me over to Marta. But they're in offices right next to each other, so able to talk to both of them about anything. So actually works out pretty well. They both have a familiarity with me.
Okay. Anything?
Good.
Anyone want to make a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion. Except I want to make it for days and you don't like that, but that, I guess. I'm gonna make a motion to approve to 2625 Humboldt Road. Address specific. For 90 days. Just come back, give us an update on how things are going and what's going on.
Hopefully I'll be coming with an address.
Well, yeah, and you can come before that if you find somewhere to live. You can come before that 90 days if you want a different address.
I don't know much about the ordinances or places that I actually can live because the last time I was released, I lived in the pier. It was actually Hobart, so the pier. And there was only 250 feet or something.
Yeah, your agent will explain that to you.
Yeah, each municipality kind of has their own guidelines, so you'd have to reach out to that community. Okay, did we get a second on that motion?
I'll second that now.
All right, all in favor?
I'm getting like you want to step home.
Motion to approve passes 2-1.
Okay, you're approved to live there for 90 days. Did you request it?
Well, yeah, just as overall.
When it comes-
Yeah.
Just let us know how you're doing when you come back in 90 days.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is Michael Kresge.
Correct.
Okay. Have you ever been here before?
I have, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you're asking to move to 1687 Deckner Avenue, number 0?
That is correct. It's a basement apartment.
Yeah, I did
Confirmed
that
that with the
too.
landlord. It's a basement apartment.
Okay.
I've never seen it.
All right, and you're currently living in De Pere, correct?
That's my address.
Oh.
I currently don't have a residence.
Okay. All right. But you've been here before, I don't see why I can't find the
It was last year.
minutes.
Last August.
Yeah.
We don't
Okay.
see anything. Just
Yeah.
the voter.
So, unfortunately, I don't know what
Yeah.
occurred back then, so, we're gonna ask, at least I'm gonna ask you to talk about your offense. Just make sure you don't list the name of the victim or the relationship of the victim. So go ahead and tell us what happened.
I was convicted of repeated first-degree sexual assault of a child. The victim, I should say, I forced the victim to touch my penis and masturbate me, oral sex and attempted penetration. She informed the counselor of that, and legal proceedings started, and I was found guilty. Sentenced to 13 years in prison, 17 years on supervision. I recently got out last year, so it's been a year since I've been released.
And how old were you?
I was 29.
And the victim was?
She was 8 at the time.
And what were you thinking?
Nothing. It was a low point in my life. I was going through a lot of things, and I just didn't have the coping skills or know how to communicate of what was going on. And it was a bad decision and a bad choice at that time. Like I said, it was 16 years ago. I'm not that person that I was back then. I'm better now than I was in the past. Like I said, I'm going through treatment, learning why I did what I did, and having the healthy coping skills, and because I broke that trust of adult and child, and that was my belief that no children should be harmed, and I broke that trust, and I'm trying everything I can do to repair that and not happen again.
And was it like several incidents that occurred? It wasn't like just a one-day thing?
No, it was not. It happened over a period of time.
Like how long of a period?
Months.
Okay.
How did it come out?
She told the counselor, and the counselor obviously reported it.
And then did you plead guilty, or did you take it to trial?
Took it to trial, based on legal advice, and, 'cause I didn't know anything about the legal system, so I was told to plead not guilty and do the trial, and was found guilty.
All right. And then where did you spend the majority of your time in prison at?
I was at New Lisbon and Kilmary.
And did you receive treatment through them there?
No, I did not, after asking repeatedly to get into the treatment program, because they did have, I had 13 years.
Yeah.
So the part of corrections failed, and I had no, they've never given me an answer, so I can't give you an answer why they did not give me my treatment, but like I said, I'm currently in treatment.
Before you go, I forgot to tell you that if you want to talk about your
Oh,
treatment.
yes, that's fine, yes,
Okay.
public.
Public is fine,
Yes.
thank you. So then, you got released last year,
Correct, in April.
and have you been doing treatment then?
Correct.
And where is that through?
It was through Addict Services. I do have a letter from the facilitator.
Oh, let's see that, please.
From her, but like I said, the other individual said that they're in the process of.
Contracts?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a letter here dated April 22nd from Rebecca Kirsten at Attic, indicating that she's providing a letter that he is, you started sex offender treatment group on August 27th of 2018 and have completed 30 sessions. You've attended all of your sessions and you've made significant progress. You take responsibility for your offense and challenge your past unhealthy sexual beliefs and behaviors. You verbalize understanding of all concepts and help others, often help explain them to others. Give examples of how you are applying concepts to your lifestyle. You have established healthy coping skills. You have not had any issues following your rules of supervision and following through with sexual offender guidelines. Okay, so tell us what you've learned in treatment.
It was how I went in my beliefs and communicating how I was feeling. Like I said, I didn't have those skills or know how to verbalize them, and to find out what happened in the past, when I was growing up, and understanding why those issues happened. So where I am now, if I feel those emotions come up again, I know how to deal with them. You know, through the support system, through what I've learned in class.
I'm sorry, how many sessions do you have to attend?
This is currently 60, so I'm
Halfway
through.
there,
Correct.
okay. Once a week?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Why are you moving from De Pere?
That's his mailing address.
That's
you
my
said.
mail.
Oh, P.O. Box, oh.
Correct, yes, it's just a
Is
P.O.
that the
box.
post, is that the mail, post office address?
Correct.
123, oh, okay, I'm
Correct.
sorry, I thought it was,
No, just the post office box. I'm looking to move into an apartment because it would give me more of a stability thing. Currently, I'm just living in my truck for work, and I'd like to, like I said, just have an apartment, have the basic needs of food, water, and shelter, just to help me with, I'd like to volunteer, so I'd like to look into doing that. Just something I can do to give back to the community, as far as much as I can, based being a sex offender and a felon.
Mhm.
And place to eat or shower, things like that.
Okay.
Like I said, I've been working, following my rules. Recently passed the polygraph in treatment. Basically, I'm doing everything I need to do. And I think having an apartment would help that.
Okay. In your application, you indicate that your support system is your wife.
Correct.
So where's she?
She is in Florida.
Okay.
I was
On
originally
vacation?
No, live down there. Originally, I was going through an interstate compact to move to Florida. Circumstances have changed, so now that's not an option. So that's another reason for me to get the apartment up here is to establish myself more here in the community. Because like I said, I was planning on going to Florida, but that was circumstances have changed.
And why? Like what circumstances changed that you can't go there?
Because I would be considered a predator down in Florida, lifetime monitoring. The rules would be really intense, and for our lifestyle, our lives, would suffer for that. So that decision was made for me not to move down there. Eventually, they will move up here when my daughter graduates high school.
Okay. How long will that be?
4 years.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
I see them once a month.
Oh,
I go down there once a month, or she comes up here once a month. So we have that system in place, and we do
Okay.
everything we can to make it work. She's been with me for almost 17 years.
okay.
So it's hard, but we make it work.
Sure. And so I'm gathering your agent gives you the travel
Correct.
pass?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
It's a privilege.
It sure is.
It's not given, and like I said, by me doing what I need to do, following the rules, being honest and open, and they recognize that, and I am grateful for that because it is my family. I have other family here in the area, aunts and uncles and grandmothers.
Okay.
But to go down there, spend time with my family, my wife and my daughter is big thing for support.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and where do you work? You didn't have that filled
I
out.
work for Viria Trucking out of Maryland.
What is it?
Viria?
Is that like a semi?
Yes, correct.
Company?
Yes.
And you drive truck?
Yes, I do.
Like,
Big semis you see.
yeah,
everywhere.
but I mean, do you do
Out
it
of
like
state
out
or-
of state?
Correct,
or-
yes.
Oh, you do?
Correct.
How often do you do that?
Every day. I'm usually gone during the week and back in where I park the truck on the weekends. So that's another reason I'm looking to get an apartment so I can, kind of get out of that truck, I mean,
Okay.
that lifestyle, is fine for a while, but sometimes you just need to, just sit in front of the TV and relax and veg out.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm looking to do.
So you're generally gone Monday through Friday over the road and then you come back on the weekends?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, when you said you slept in your truck, I just thought you meant like a pickup truck.
I should have clarified that.
So,
I should have clarified
okay.
that. My apologies.
All right.
And then I was surprised you were going state to state.
Yeah.
That's another privilege I've earned.
Absolutely
My
it
company
is.
is flexible
Sure.
to where I can, work either local or, do that. And I approached my agent regarding that. And she said, well, you know, I don't have a problem with it, you're following the rules, you're doing what you need to do. You know, she's like, I wish everybody was doing that, but, you know, it's a kind of a reward. So
Yeah.
I do not take that for granted, one bit.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions?
I do not.
No.
Anybody like to make a motion?
Sure. I'll make a motion to approve Mr. Kresge,
Correct.
address specific to 1681 Deckner Avenue.
87?
1687.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, 1687 Deckner Avenue, number 0.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, so you're approved to move there.
Thank you.
Do you want us to mail that there or to your PO box?
To the PO box.
Okay, so, you're good to go?
Thank you.
Yep, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the list is Justin Zelmer. And I see we have somebody who'd like to speak on your behalf. We'll get to that. All right. So you are looking to move to 241 Jacob Street?
Correct.
And have you been here before?
Yes.
And when was the last time you were here?
Uh,
Quite a while ago.
yeah.
So 2014? Oh, yeah.
Just scroll a little more here. All right.
To 2016, December 14.
Okay. All right, so do we want to go over his offense? Again, I mean, it's been a while. Or are you okay with what, from the reading?
No, I'm okay.
I am too.
Okay. You know, I'm sorry, Rich, is that okay that we do that, or do they have to talk about it?
You ask for whatever information you need to
Okay.
discuss whatever
Okay,
information
perfect.
you need.
I should have asked that earlier, I apologize. Okay, so, we're not gonna ask you about your offense because we've gone through that in the past. So you've been living at the hillside.
Correct.
We approved you then to live there. And why are you wanting to move?
Because my grandma passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that. And that was her home on
Yes.
Hillside? Okay. And so then, are you going to be, you'll still be living with your brother, is that correct?
Yes, my twin brother.
Okay. All right. And are you currently working?
Yes.
And where are you working?
Marquise Yachts, or it's Carver Yachts, kind of the same thing. So, building boats out in Pulaski.
Okay. All right.
Did you just start there?
No, I'm probably there 2 years, maybe a little over, I think.
How come you didn't put that in the work section? No one writes
I
their
know,
work
they
in there.
forgot it.
That wasn't in there?
No, nothing's written.
Oh.
You're not the only one.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to know.
All right, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. It's
So
all right.
it's a couple years you've been there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is your brother own the house? Or who owns the house that you're moving to?
Apparently my uncle now.
Oh, okay, okay. I just saw the same last name, so I was just curious. Okay. And then if we want to talk about your treatment, are you okay to remain in public session, or would you like to go to closed? Okay. So it looks like you completed SOT back in 2016, and you haven't had any more treatment following that?
No.
Okay. All right. So when did you actually get released from prison? on your sex offense?
Well, it wasn't prison, I was
Oh,
actually in
you gave jail,
Huber.
yeah. So it's been quite a long time, right?
Yeah, I can't even remember what the date was, but yeah, it's been a while. It was supposed to be 1 year, I did 9 months.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like about 2014 you would have, been released from prison, from jail.
Correct.
Yeah, sorry. And then, how long were you on probation for?
They gave me 10 years, I think I got 4 left to go.
Okay. So as I'm looking at your judgment of conviction, it looks like there was an order filed on September 24th of last year, amending the JOC, indicating no contact with any minors without prior agent approval and without a DOC's approved chaperone present. No personal computer or any device with internet without prior agent approval. Did you have some kind of a violation that order came through at such a late time?
No, I don't even remember having that.
Yeah, I don't know who would have filed that order,
Yeah.
but they did amend your judgment of conviction to reflect that. Or, are just those general rules
Those are
of your,
probably rules,
so it
yes.
looks like maybe they didn't initially put them on there,
Correct.
do you think? Okay,
I
so,
think that's what that is.
all right.
Yeah, I can't have no Facebook, no internet, all that stuff. I'm fine with that. I don't want nothing to do with that stuff no more.
Okay,
So,
all right.
I'm pretty much mainly busy work, I was on, excuse me, 40 hours, but now we're on mandatory 50 hours. So, and now that I got 2 houses to empty out, my grandma's, and now for the new address, I want to get that house going. So I got a lot of work to do there too.
Okay.
And your brother lives there now?
Me and, excuse me, me and my brother live in grandma's house at 2061.
Oh.
Hillside.
Oh, your brother
Right.
isn't moving, or he is also moving
Well,
with
he's
you?
also gonna move in
Okay.
with me at 241 Jacob Street.
Okay.
And if approved, when will that move take place?
Tomorrow.
Well,
No,
I,
right. We got a lot of cleaning up to do yet.
yeah, we got a lot of emptying the house to do, so
Okay.
I can't really give you a date.
No, that's okay, just curious. All right. Do you guys have any questions or?
No.
Okay. And then if you wanted to come up to speak, we just ask that you state your name and address for the record.
Okay, Tammy Zellner, 3115 Carnoustie Way, New Franken, Wisconsin, 54229.
So,
Justin's aunt. So just wanted to say, because like he said, Grandma passed away, my mother-in-law passed away end of February. So we're selling the house. He's been helping out a lot, him and his brother helping pack things up and move things out. And then we're moving him hopefully, into the Jacob Street house with his brother. It'll be a place we're going to help them out, make them kind of pay rent, but not technically, that they can save up money to, because technically the house is in our name, but Angie wanted it to make sure that the house stayed with the boys, so that the boys have always somewhere to go.
who's Angie?
Oh, sorry, my mother-in-law.
Okay.
Yep, Grandma.
Okay.
So, and then what we would do is kind of make sure to help them, everything goes well, that they would kind of still pay rent, but it would be for their taxes and home insurance, so that, make sure that all got paid. So yeah, but Justin's been doing, helpful. We got him a checkbook to start getting things going, to do things on his own a little bit more and stuff, so, yes.
Okay. Any questions?
None.
Okay, thank you.
you.
What do you want to look at?
Well, because when I looked this up, when I looked it up on Family Watchdog, it says Jason Zellner lives there, and he's blue.
That he moved out.
He moved out.
That's my other brother, my older brother. Yeah, he lives there and my aunt lives there. But they told, my aunt that she's got a certain time to move out, because it was in grandma's will for us 3 boys to live there. But, they told my older brother he didn't have to move, he could stay there, but he chose to move out with his girlfriend. So he's already packed out.
And that's Jason?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
He's gone already.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's gone back.
okay, thank you for the
Apparently, he didn't
clarification.
want to stay. He wanted to go with his girlfriend. So.
Okay,
Okay, that was my own question.
all right. All right, anything else?
Not,
Okay, does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Justin, I want to say Jason, sorry.
That's fine.
To 241 Jacob Street, address specific.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Is your other brother a J name also?
Yes, and my dad. It's just my mom is not a J.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, so you're approved to move back. If you wish to move after that, you'll have to come back.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
We mail the letter.
Oh, yeah, where do you want the letter to be?
Oh, the new address, 241 Jacob.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Okay, our next meeting is June 12th at 4 PM. I indicated that I will not be able to be present for that one. Public hearings, what's that all about?
Just the next section.
Oh.
Move on to adjournment.
Okay, and then,
automatically built in.
okay, if we could get a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Anyone second that?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
You must look like, I don't know what. Stamps.
Okay.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, so this is why I denied that one, is because we had all